Good afternoon, my name is Carol Joseph and I represent Frateran Senior High School, and I'm here today to give you guys a speech about the impending 2023 recession and how we, the youth of Indonesia, the future of Indonesia, can be prepared to face it. Now, before I go into my speech, I would like to start off with a bold statement. That is pretty bold, actually. That recessions are parts of life. Recessions are normal. Whether you want to face the facts or not, recessions are basically part of life, really. It's part of an economic cycle. Now, what is a recession? A recession is defined as a phase where a country's economy takes a plunge in terms of income. In simple words, it's when countries make less money than, let's say, last year. We saw this happen in 2020, where the COVID pandemic was pretty much everywhere. It hit the most here in Indonesia, especially. We hit our first recession in 20 years. Now, what we can do as the youth of Indonesia to face the recession is to, first of all, save money. Second, understand how your company makes money or your employer makes money. Understand how they make profit. And then lastly, is to be a good worker, to be a great employee. I'll go into my first point. Now, save as much money as possible. It's easier said than done, especially with the consuming culture that we have here in Indonesia. But with tough-mindedness and with diligence, I'm sure we can make a living out of not buying everything. Now, the benefits of saving enough money is that later on, when a recession does hit, prices tend to fall. They tend to free fall off a cliff. So let's say an iPhone 11 original price is 14 million. Later on, when a recession hit, there's a chance that it might drop 50%, and later on you're gonna have an iPhone 11 for 7 million. Not bad, eh? And then later on we can sell it again when we're out of the recession. For my second point, understand how your company makes money. Because later on, if you don't learn how your company makes money, and then a recession hit, you're gonna be blindsided by that. And the last thing you want to be is to be blindsided. And for the last point, it's going to be being a great employee. What I mean by being a great employee is to reduce the workload that your higher ups have, reduce their pressure. Because the last thing you want to do as an employee is to add their workload. And when you're adding their workload, they're gonna sack you off without thinking twice. Now, that's why the main point here is be dependable. Be a good employee. In conclusion, next year's recession is gonna be a bit of a tough one. But it's all up to us whether we want to be heavily impacted by this or not. So, thank you. That's all from my speech, and yeah, see you.